Ani! Hello, bonjour. I'm Angela, and I'm the Indigenous Co-ordinator for the EarlyON Child and Family Centers in Simcoe County. And today I've invited 3 of my co-workers to join us. We're celebrating National Indigenous History Month for the month of June. And June 21st is Indigenous Peoples Day. So lots to celebrate this month. And I thought maybe we'd all come together and, tell a few stories, sing a few songs, and hopefully you'll learn a little bit about Indigenous people and their culture. So how about we start with introductions? Margie, would you mind going first?
Honey, hello everyone. My name is Margie and I'm with EarlyON Child and Family Center Simcoe North here in Angelia.
Miigwech, Margie. And Jen, would you mind going next?
Ani, I'm Jen. I'm from EarlyON Collingwood and Alliston for E3 Community Services.
Miigwech, Jen, thanks very much. And Leanne, last but not least, if you would go.
Miigwech, Angela. I'm Leanne from Empower Simcoe EarlyON Child and Family Centers in Barrie, Innisfil, and Bradford. And it's wonderful to be here with all of you. But I thought before we got started, Angela, that we would share a land acknowledgement.
Miigwech.
The EarlyON Child and Family Centers of Simcoe County acknowledge that we are situated on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people. The Anishinaabe include the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations, collectively known as the Three Fires Confederacy. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect with all First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people.
Miigwech, Leanne. So after we do our land acknowledgement, I like to start with a smudge. So if you'll bear with me a minute, in our bowl, we have some white flakes, and those are sage, and that's one of our sacred medicines. All right. And now I'd like to offer you a smudge. Miigwech. And I thought maybe before we go any further, we might talk a little bit about the 4 sacred medicines and a smudge and talk about what that all means. So first of all, the 4 sacred medicines. So the first one is tobacco, and tobacco sits in our eastern door of the medicine wheel. It was the first plant that Creator gave Indigenous people. Creator gave us tobacco so that we can communicate with the spirit world. Tobacco opens that door to communication, and it's used in every ceremony. Tobacco is offered also before you pick sacred medicines, and if you're seeking help from an elder or a healer, you would offer them tobacco ties. So you would take a square of material, you would place the tobacco in, tie it up, and you would offer that to them for their kindness in sharing their information with you or helping you heal. The second of the sacred medicines is sweetgrass, and here's my sweetgrass. And it sits in the southern door of the medicine wheel. It's usually braided and dried and burned. There are 21 strands to make up the braid. 7, the first 7, that represents our generations behind us, our ancestors. The second set of 7, they represent our teachings. So love, respect, honesty, courage, wisdom, truth, and humility. And the last of the 7 strands represent the generations to come, the generations in front of us. The third of our sacred medicines sits in our western door on the medicine wheel, and that is our sage. It's used to prepare people for ceremonies and teachings. It removes negative energy. It is used to release whatever is troubling your mind. It's used for cleansing ourselves, our homes, and our sacred items. And there are two types of sage, a male sage, which is often referred to as buffalo sage, and a female sage, or white sage, that has flowers on it. So that's kind of how you tell the difference. The fourth of our sacred medicines sits in our northern door on our medicine wheel, and it's cedar. And cedar is used to purify your home. And I just happen to have some of my cedar right here. There you go. And it's used in all fasting and sweat lodge ceremonies as a form of protection and healing. If you put cedar in your bath, it's very, very healing. So you would take some of your cedar and you could put it in the bathtub and just soak. So that's the fourth of our sacred medicines. So now I thought maybe we would talk a little bit about smudging. You can smudge with any and all of these. Most people smudge with sage, and we smudge with white sage because we're women. So when you're smudging, like you saw, you take your hands and you wave them over the smoke, and you bring the smoke closer to your body. And then you smudge your eyes so that you can see the good in others and yourself. You smudge your ears so you can listen with your heart and hear in a good way. And you smudge your mouth so you always speak in a kind and gentle way. You smudge your stomach to cleanse yourself from illnesses that may come. And you smudge over your shoulders to release any guilt, anxiety, resentment, and anger into the past. You can smudge your feet so that you might walk gently on Mother Earth. And you smudge your whole body so that you feel grounded and humble. And lastly, but not least, you can smudge your heart to give thanks. So I'm hoping that this information suits you well, and you have learned a little bit today about smudging and our sacred medicines. And I heard, Margie, you have a fantastic song in 3 languages to get us started.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody, and how are you? How are you today? Bonjour, mes amis, comment ça va? Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Bonjour, mes amis, comment ça va? Comment ça va aujourd'hui? Ani, 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 shna, ani, shna, ani, 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 shna, ani, shna.
Miigwech, Margie, thanks so much.
I love saying hello in the 3 different languages. And when I hear 3 different languages, I think of 3 different vegetables. And I was wondering, Angela, if you have a story about the 3 sisters.
I do have a story. So the Haudenosaunee people, they learned very early how to plant 3 sisters together. It's called companion planting today, but they used to plant things together because they benefit each other. So they would plant corn, and they would plant it in the middle, and then they would plant beans, and they would plant the beans next to the corn so that the beans could wrap around the corn and it would support them. And then at the bottom, they would plant squash. And these are my squash seeds that I saved from last year. But they would plant them at the bottom all around the bean seeds. And those kept the ground moist, and they kept the animals and the bugs from disturbing the other 3 plants, or the other 2 plants. And so that's why we have corn, beans, and squash, and they work together. So now I thought maybe to go along with that, I would tell you a little bit of a story called The Corn Husk Doll. Now, this is a story about the Haudenosaunee people. And a long, long time ago, There was a corn spirit, and she was so thrilled to be a sustainer of life that she asked the Great Spirit if there was anything more she could do for her people. The Great Spirit told her that a doll could be formed from her husk. And so she made a doll from her husk and gave the doll a very beautiful face. Then the doll went from village to village, and she would play with the children. And everywhere the doll went, the people kept saying, "Oh, you're so beautiful." Oh, and it wasn't too long until she thought she was very beautiful, kind of conceited. The Great Spirit called for her, but before she went into the Great Spirit's lodge, she stopped by the water. And she looked at herself in the pool of the water, and she couldn't help but admire how beautiful she was. Oh, she had beautiful hair and a beautiful face. Oh, I don't know. The Great Spirit told her that she shouldn't be thinking of herself and shouldn't be thinking that she's better than anyone else because we're all equal. Well, he also told her that, if you don't listen, a great punishment will come upon you. No sooner did she leave the lodge door and return to play with the children in the next village that again she was told how beautiful she was, and she started thinking she was prettier than everyone else. Well, again, the Great Spirit called for her. "Come here, cornhusk doll." And when she arrived, she stopped by the pool of water and admired her reflection, with the Great Spirit's words echoing in her head. She couldn't help but hear, "A great punishment will come to you. A great punishment will come to you." As she looked at her reflection, do you know what happened? Down swooped the great horned owl. And do you know what he did? He took her face away. And away he went with it. Now, Cornhusk Doll has no face. That was her punishment. And to this day, Cornhusk dolls are made faceless as toys for children, as decorations, and a reminder to our people to never put yourself above anyone else and to stay humble. Otherwise, you may suffer a great punishment, like Cornhusk Doll.
Miigwech, Angela. That's a wonderful story with a teaching in there. I'm just thinking, I know a song about all the different people in our community, using some of the words from songs that you've taught me. And my apologies for any mispronunciations. I'm still learning some of the Ojibwe words. So if you want to sing along, please sing along. First, I'm going to look for beaver. So, where is Amick? Where is Amick? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run and hide, run and hide. This time I'm going to look for grandfather. Do you remember the word for grandfather? Where is Mishomis? Where is Mishomis? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run and hide, run and hide. Now I'm going to look for a teeny tiny bird called a chickadee. Where is Gitchy Gitchy Ganesha? Where is Gitchy Gitchy Ganesha? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, Gitchy? Very well, I thank you. Run and hide, run and hide. Hey, where's grandmother? Where is Nokomis? Where is Nokomis? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, ma'am? Very well, I thank you. Run and hide, run and hide. Now I'm looking for all the little brothers and sisters. Where is Nishima? Where is Nishima? Here we are. Here we are. How are you today, sirs? Very well, we thank you. Run and hide. Run and hide. Should we try to find all of them all at once? Okay, this is a new word for me for family. Where is Inawamagen? Where is Inawamagen? Here we are. Here we are. How are you today, family? Very well, we thank you. Run and hide. Run and hide. Miigwech for listening and singing along.
Oh, Leanne, that was fantastic. I love searching for the animals and the people. That was so much fun.
So Angela, I was wondering, because now that we found everybody, they've all gathered, is there a gathering song that we can sing, maybe using the drum?
Absolutely. You read my mind. So our gathering song today was gifted to me by the Family Literacy Circle. And so I hope you enjoy. Remember, we always start with those 4 honor beats. Yo, ya, he, ya, he, yo, ya, he, yo, ya, he, ya, he, yo, ya, he, yo, ya, he, ya, he, yo, ya, he, yo, ya, he, ya, he, yo. Miigwech, Gitchi, Manitou for the seeds that you sow. Sun and rain and Mother Earth who cause the seeds to grow. Birds and bees and butterflies who help the plants to live. Thank you for the gifts that you give. Yo, ya, he, ya, he, yo, ya, he, yo, ya, he, ya, he, yo, ya, he, yo, ya, he, ya, he, yo, ya, he, yo, ya, he, ya, he, yo. Oh, great song. Good suggestion. Thanks, Leanne. So I'm sad to say we've come to the end of our time today together, but I would like to sing our Bama P song. Remember, we sing Bama P, Kawaba Men, goodbye until I see your light again. So here we go. Bama P, Kawaba Men, Bama P, Kawaba Men, Bama P, Kawaba Men, Bama P, Kawaba Men, way-ya, hey-ya, hey-ya, ho, way-ya, hey-ya, hey-ya, ho, way-ya, hey-ya, hey-ya, ho, way-ya, hey-ya, hey-ya, ho. Bama P, Kawaba Men. Miigwech, Leanne, Jan, and Margie for joining me. Bama P, we'll see you again.
Wamapi friends.